And a very happy Tuesday to you at 12:06 in the West. It's the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Waggs in Culver City.
John, if anyone ever wondered why I would possibly waste my time in following the social media accounts of every politician that matters in this state, it's for days like today, where I found out that last night, gubernatorial candidate and former Congresswoman Katie Porter...
Get out of my shop!
...did a live stream from the kitchen while she was cooking.
Okay. I am now of the belief that the people who work for her do not want her to win.
And why would you say that?
Because if you know that you're working for a rageaholic, putting a fixed camera in that person's kitchen and recording all of their pissed off tirades and putting them on the internet is probably not going to help out your chances at winning.
Paul!
It's very interesting that this is what she spent last night doing, and I don't know what she's doing tonight, but she did not join. She is not part of the lineup on the debate tonight that's going to air on KTVU and Fox 11.
I was watching her video when I was cooking my own dinner, and I almost burned everything because I could not take my eyes off of it.
All right.
It was unbelievable.
Who makes better cooking videos, John? Katie Porter or Rachel Dolezal?
Hey, maybe we should have a video off.
Let's get right into this because I don't think we're going to have time to play the whole thing. It's a 27-minute tirade in the kitchen with a cameo appearance by the whiteboard. This was on Katie Porter's Instagram.
Hey, everybody.
The first few minutes of it are kind of muted because she has the phone on a towel.
Well, and she's doing the little girl voice to start out, too.
You mean this voice?
Hey, hello, everybody.
Oh, yeah,
Hey, everybody.
that voice.
It's Katie Porter. I'm running for California governor, and I'm also making dinner.
That's right. She's holding a knife while making this pitch.
Well, how about later on in the video when she has the knife in one hand, and it's not a butter knife. This is something that could take out Ron and Nicole. She's got the knife in one hand, and she's got an extremely phallic-shaped carrot in the other. And she starts talking smack about Tom Steyer and Villaraigosa. And the more worked up she gets, the more she goes after that carrot. And she destroys the carrot. And the chopping gets to be so loud, she has to apologize because she understands that you can't hear her.
You really did watch this whole thing.
I did.
And I'm also making dinner. I'm making a great vegetarian minestrone soup, and I will put the recipe into...
Is she trying to be an influencer?
Maybe. Maybe she's looking for a show on the Food Network.
The comments, I'll post the recipe for you tomorrow. So while I'm cooking dinner tonight,
Maybe she's realizing that she has no chance in this race, and she's figuring out what the second act is going to be.
So you think she's the modern-day Yan Can Cook?
I've been at this race like about a year. It started in March. I declared in March, but I started working on it a little bit before that. And
this isn't distracting at all.
No, she's just there chopping vegetables.
I guess I just wanted to share some of my observations with you and honestly get your thoughts and get your...
By the way, she's chopping for so long. How big of a soup is she making?
I'm surprised that she didn't make beef stew because with as angry as she is in this video, wouldn't you expect to hear her sticking that knife into flesh?
About democracy. And kind of one of the things that got me thinking about all this is I cleaned out my t-shirt drawer recently. I lost a little weight. My t-shirts are too big.
Humble brag?
Yeah, no kidding.
And I was looking for what was my favorite t-shirt. And it said...
Let me guess. It was a shirt from her marriage that says, "I'm was stupid."
It said, "Democracy is not for sale."
That's your favorite shirt, huh? This isn't contrived at all.
You know what I picture? I picture her having night shirts. I remember when I was an elementary school student in the 80s, And we had these women who were moms. They had kids in the school, and they were known as quote unquote proctors. And they were the ones that would watch you when you would be at lunch or recess or whatever. And occasionally you would see them outside of school at times. And they were always these pissed off women that looked exactly like Katie Porter. They just had a chip on their shoulder and they were angry at the world. And I remember we ran into one of them at the mall and she had a shirt on that said, "I can go from 0 to bitch in 2.4 seconds.
It was navy blue, and it said, "Democracy is not for sale." And when I first ran for Congress in 2018, I didn't take...
Oh, the chopping's starting to get a little more vigorous here.
No, I'm telling you, the madder she gets, the harder she chops.
And when I first ran for Congress in 2018, I didn't take corporate PAC money. Someone gave...
Wait, we're still on with that?
Nobody cared about that when you ran for the Senate. Why do you think people care about it when you're running for governor?
Someone gave me this T-shirt, and it was my favorite T-shirt, not because it was particularly flattering or anything like that. It was my favorite.
I know that it's a video, and I'm playing just the audio of it, but hearing her getting angrier while holding that knife has me nervous.
I watched the whole thing thinking she was going to jump through the screen and hit me.
This is the new Bloody Mary.
It's my favorite T-shirt.
By the way, if you want to see this video, I have put it in today's California report on my Substack, randywangradio.substack.com. Scroll down and you'll see the link to Katie Porter's video on Insta. It's 27 minutes.
She's going to pull it from the internet, so enjoy it while you can.
That's why I downloaded the sound. It's literally, usually I wait till the morning to do this. Last night before bed, I'm like, I better download the sound of this now before this video disappears.
Oh, when I was watching it last night, when she got to the part where she talks about bouncing all the checks and how she can't afford to buy all the food that she wants at the grocery store, I thought, okay, when you wake up in the morning and see this video that you posted, that's all she wrote. Thank God we knew about it tonight.
I really believe that. I really believe that democracy at least shouldn't be for sale. I can't find the T-shirt. I don't know if it got lost in a move from Washington or California, or somebody turned it into a rag, or I'm not sure. But it kind of feels symbolic to...
Seems like she's blaming the kids for that one.
Paul?
Paul! But it kind of feels symbolic to me about this governor's race, that I can't find the T-shirt that says democracy is not for sale.
Okay, so do you think that this is just her stream of consciousness and she's like, I'm going to record this? Or did she plan that this is what the topic was going to be on the cooking show?
Well, you have to go into it understanding that everyone who works for her hates her. So if she comes to them with an idea like this, who do you think is going to say, you know, Katie, that sounds like a bad idea. I don't think you should do that. Nobody.
Because honestly, it kind of feels like our California democracy maybe is for sale.
You notice everything was fine and dandy when she was leading in the polls. And after she lost her temper on those two different videos, and she fell from first place to third or fourth or wherever it is that she is right now, now she's all the way pissed off, and now our democracy is for sale.
Get out of my shop. Maybe can be bought. And what's making me think that? I mean, I'm really proud to not take corporate donations,
We're still on this.
Oh, yeah.
Take corporate PAC money. Never have, never will. And I really think it's important that Democrats live their values that way, especially in California, because we want to be the vanguard of democracy. We want to be the antithesis of what we see with big donors writing $1 million checks to Donald Trump, buying Washington and buying our executive leader. So running for governor in California, I was like, I'm not going to take corporate money. I never have. And I'm really proud because...
You think people care about this?
I'll tell you. I understand that all of us live in bubbles now with our smartphones and the internet and our social media, those things. But you would think that politicians who travel around the state, travel around the country, go on all the news channels, would be more aware of what people care about. She is totally clueless.
We've been able, with grassroots support, to raise a bunch of money. And today is the day that the reporting goes live, supposed to go live, on the California Secretary of State's website, where you can see how much money people have raised. And
That's why she's so mad.
Oh, yeah.
And from whom. So this is a really good transparency thing. And so I'm looking at that website today.
What you hear now is her going to town on Carrot because she's about ready to talk about the guys that she's running against. Every time she talks about the guys that she runs against, she deforms the carrot in some capacity.
Are you saying there's some symbolism in this video?
Oh, let me tell you, I crossed my legs like a secretary in the 1950s when she brandished the knife and carrot and kept shoving it right into the camera. And then you could see the steam coming out of her ears and coming out of her eyes. And you knew what was going to happen to that carrot. And you also knew what she was thinking.
At that website today, and I couldn't find my filing, which is pretty scary, because it crashed the system.
Sure it did.
It crashed the system because I actually have a grassroots-powered campaign. I actually have thousands and thousands of amazing people who chip in just a little bit at katieporter.com when they can, whatever they can.
Okay, now this is like a TikToker and OnlyFans because she's asking for money.
Oh, yeah. This is a Jerry Lewis telethon.
And the entire filing system for donations in California isn't built for that. It didn't even contemplate that somebody might run a grassroots-powered campaign in California, where we're supposed to.
Is this scripted?
I think it's like Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know what direction it has to go in, but there's not a script per se.
She's got to fill in the blanks, but she's got some bullet points.
Yes.
In California, where we're supposed to be at the vanguard of democracy.
Someone's got a case of the spostas.
And living our values, and we're supposed to be so progressive. And the assumption is that, you take corporate donations, you go after big dollar donors, few, movie stars here, a couple of industrial titans there, and pretty soon you're governor.
Someone's jealous.
Do you hear her skidding that carrot?
It's very creepy.
Well, they eventually, my filing got straightened out, and they got it loaded into the system. And my average donation was $68. 6.8. Actually, I'm going to use a whiteboard for that. If you guys are okay with this, I'm going to try to do this on a whiteboard. Hang on.
She's got a whiteboard in the kitchen?
She is a prop comic. Also, I think we're finally at the point of the video where she takes the phone off the towel, so the sound's about to be a lot clearer.
I never saw the exercise bike the whole time I watched that video. Did you?
That was a prop in the 2024 campaign.
I'm going to do this on a whiteboard for you because I have one in my kitchen. Let's see. Okay, I got a marker.
Her kitchen is like Mary Poppins' carpet bag. What doesn't she have in that kitchen?
All right, let me see if I can figure out how to turn this around for you guys. All right, now that's my dog's obedience certificate. That's not what I want to show you.
This video is getting weirder and weirder.
All right, so my average...
If you ever wanted to know how politicians live, you don't.
And Katie needs a remodel.
My average donation was... Oh, that marker's dead.
Too much whiteboarding.
How often does she deliver lectures from the kitchen?
Let me try another one. Okay. My average donation was $68. And that's actually a relatively high donation.
And by the way, if you watch the video, she can't tell where the whiteboard ends and the refrigerator begins. So she wrote all over the refrigerator.
High donation for me, comparatively. And, I was like, okay, it's a little bit higher than I'm used to. But then I got the numbers for the other people.
That's what this video's about.
And here's where the anger begins.
And here they are. I want to share them with you. The average donation for one of my competitors, Eric Swalwell, was $1,844. That's like a mortgage payment.
That, by the way, that's rich coming from somebody that lives in teacher housing that obviously doesn't know that a mortgage payment is way more than $1,800.
Yeah, we're paying for your crib, lady.
That's like a mortgage payment. That's his typical contribution. But it gets worse. Another candidate, Villagarosa.
Purposely mispronouncing his fake name. How dare you?
His average contribution, double that. It was $3,204. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Who did he get to give him that kind of money? Mr. and Mrs. Herbalife?
Who's giving him any money? Average donation is different than how much money was brought in.
That's like take-home pay for a worker. But then there was this. And this is where I just don't know what to say. And I don't know what to think about our democracy.
She's really angrily scribbling now.
Oh, yeah. Just keep her away from that carrot, though, for a minute at least.
Tom Steyer.
That's who she's pissed at.
Here we go.
His average contribution was 300. It's a really bad 3. I'm sorry, guys. $348,333.
And who gave him that money? Himself?
Yes, of course.
Well, Johnny, the tirade is just beginning. We have 21 minutes left of this video, and I feel like if we're good, we can try to get through as much of it as possible.
We have to get to the part where she talks about bouncing all the checks. All right, buckle up, kids. Or should I say, make sure the airbags are working. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, you're monitoring the mailbag.
Dan writes in at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. John, when you're making soup at home, you have to make sure you make enough that after you dump a bowl on the head of whatever man is in the vicinity, you still have enough left over to eat.
And that's the only one we can read so far.
Like, please.
But there are several that we cannot read that we are giggling about during the break.
800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. Coming up after the news at 1, we're going to check in with Julie Watts, who is the television reporter who conducted the infamous interview with Katie Porter.
Like, please.
If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, coming up at the end of the week, we're going on the road.
This Friday, we're heading back to Long Beach, everybody. We're heading to Gladstone's in Long Beach for our next live broadcast, and you're invited. Come enjoy great food, good vibes, and a fun afternoon by the water. John Segmeister's going to take care of you. We're going to have special guests. You can meet our friend Susan Shelley from the Howard Jarvis Taxpayer Association. She'll tell you more about your taxpayer rights and protecting Prop 13. As we have been telling you, the courts made it easier to raise your taxes through these citizens initiative nonsense. Come by and sign the petition to save Prop 13. The deadline is February 17th. She needs all those signatures in so she can turn them in and get this thing on the ballot. You can help out. Go to saveprop13.com. But come hang out with us, grab a bite, and be part of the broadcast. The John Phillips Show live at Gladstone's in Long Beach this Friday from noon to 3.
In the meantime, what do you say we make a couple of listeners very happy?
Let's do that right now. 790 KABC welcomes Stained at the Toyota Arena on October 10th. Tickets are on sale Friday at Ticketmaster.com, but right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by Live Nation. Good luck dialing.
All right, now it's time to go back to our regularly scheduled program, The French Chef.
This was a live stream that Katie Porter did on her Instagram last night. If you want to see the video, I have it posted at the bottom of my Substack today, The California Report. You can get it at randywangradio.substack.com.
His average contribution is more money than most of us will make. It'll take a year or 2 years or 3 years of every dollar we make.
She really doesn't like Tom Steyer, and I think there's a lot of Californians in agreement with her, but does she think Tom Steyer has any chance of getting more than 5% in this election?
Yeah, and for the record, everyone hates him.
To get to his average contribution. And I'm really proud of how I funded this campaign.
Fumbling with the phone, are we?
Oh, yeah. Now it sounds like an episode of Cops.
But it does feel like in California, is that who we are? Are we?
Have you been to Sacramento? This is how the game is played.
Now she's going back to the knife, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Are we a state where our democracy can be bought? And look, I want the Democratic Party to win. I flipped a seat in Orange County. I hung on to it. I had grassroots fundraising through my leadership PAC.
By the way, you notice she doesn't wash her hands after touching the phone and touching the whiteboard and touching the markers and touching the dog and touching everything else.
Yeah, the health department's going to have some questions about this cooking show.
And we funded so many campaigns. Democrats need the money. Make no mistake about it. I have to apologize. If you're on my email list or text list, you know that I'm serious about raising the resources.
Yeah, she sent a real desperate text the other day.
Did you hear her going after the carrot again?
Yes, I did.
To win this race. And by the way, with my at $68 average contribution, we were able to be in either the number 1 or number 2 position outside of self-funding Tom Steyer. So you can get there with grassroots donations. You really, really can. But
oh, boy, we're getting angry again.
Oh, yeah. The angrier she gets, the harder she chops.
When people say I don't have any confidence that politicians understand me, live like me, why would you?
You just don't understand how I live.
Well, I can tell you something. I watched that video last night, and I know I don't relate to that.
Because the donors that they're talking to can just write a check for your average take-home pay or more than you'll make in 5 years in one fell swoop. So I guess how do we live? How do we change this? I'm really working hard to change it, of course, by how I fund my campaign and by running for governor so that I can change the California.
You know, when the Public Policy Institute or Cal Matters has these polls of like the top issues that are facing Californians, how much people are donating to Tom Steyer is not on that list.
Nobody cares.
Campaign system so that we can ban corporation contributions directly from corporations. Sorry for the noise. I'm cutting carrots.
Yeah, we know.
I need something to memorialize this interview for the drops folder.
Sorry for the noise. I'm cutting carrots.
That's what we're going to save.
Okay, if you're Tom Steyer and you took this video to the cops, do you think that's enough for a restraining order?
You could construe that there is a threat being implied here with how aggressive she's talking about Tom Steyer with the knife and the carrot.
Sorry for the noise. I'm cutting carrots. But like in the meantime, are we putting our elections up for sale in California? And I remember when we're talking about like the Democratic Party and who we are. Remember when Donald Trump ran the first time? Hate to take us all back there, but remember when he said, in effect, I'm so rich that I won't be corrupt. I'm so rich.
She aggressively chops more when she's talking about Steyer than when she's talking about Trump.
That's very true.
That I won't be beholden. I'll drain the swamp, he said, because I'm so wealthy. And people are so concerned about the influence of money in politics.
You know, just from the sound of the chopping, I think she needs to get that knife sharpened, but I don't want her to.
That chopping is so loud. I wonder if we're going to hear the neighbors scream, keep it down in there.
That they bought it. Now look where we are. Now we have Donald Trump with his ICE agents killing American citizens. We have healthcare under attack. We have education under attack. We have research funding under attack. And this was somebody whose basic argument to the American people was, I'm not that corrupt because I'm loaded. Are we going to buy that in California in this governor's race? Are we going to say that a billionaire like Tom Steyer...
Back to Steyer. Watch out, carrots.
She must have some sort of internal polling showing him moving up.
Who doesn't need to fundraise from real people is going to be able to rescue us? It didn't work in Washington. That is for sure. It has not worked out that way in D.C. So
as soon as she starts thinking about Steyer, all she wants to do is chop.
I would be concerned if I was him.
Look, people tell me all the time that their biggest challenge is cost of living. I get it. But is that problem going to be fixed by somebody who's never had to worry about cost of living? Who's never had to put something back at the grocery store because they couldn't afford it?
Whoa.
What'd you have to put back, Katie?
Think about this for a second. She's a member of Congress, or was a member of Congress. What do they make?
$140.
It's more than that. Let's say somewhere around 200. She's also a best-selling author. She had that book out. Politics is as messy as my minivan. She made some money from that. What is she buying at the grocery store where she's having to put items back because she can't afford it?
I don't want to speculate, but I have a feeling the email bag will.
Who's never bounced a check?
Whoa!
You're bouncing. You're right. Hold on. Katie Porter wants to run the state's finances, and she's openly admitting that she writes bad checks?
Who do you think she's bouncing checks to? How fantastic would it be if you show up to a 7-Eleven in Irvine where they have all the bad checks posted on the wall, and there's one up there from Katie Porter where she bounced a check for a Slurpee.
There's just a picture of her, and it says, do not accept checks from this woman.
How many bad checks do you think she's written over the years?
Who's never bounced a check? I doubt it. And I'm really worried about what we do as a party.
By the way, I made almost no money at this job for the first 15 years. I never bounced a check.
Well, apparently there's items that she wanted really badly.
And I'm really worried about what we do as a party, what Democrats do if we don't figure out how to rebuild trust in our party and show people that we're for working Californians. We're for working people.
I mean, you could take this message to the debate, but you didn't show up.
No. And wouldn't that be for deadbeats if you're advocating for people who write bad checks?
And when I...
Well, California does kind of write a lot of bad checks if you look at the budget.
That's true.
And when I see somebody whose average contribution is more than rent, more than take-home pay, more than, most people make in a year or two or three or four or five of hard work.
Oh, boy, she's getting angry. You better watch out, staffers.
Oh, if I'm that carrot, man, I'm trying to find my way back into the fridge.
I don't know. I don't know how you feel. I'd like to hear how you feel, but I'm not so sure that's going to convince people, voters that we're struggling to hang on to, voters that we must keep to win, not only in 2026, but in 2028. I don't know if that's going to keep them with us as Democrats. And it makes me really worried about the state of our democracy. And again,
oh, she's going back to the peeling.
Yeah, she's skinning that carrot.
I wonder who she's picturing right now.
Oh, we all know.
And again, this is California. And we have so many billionaires here compared to some states. And people are, talking about what can we do about taxation and tax.
Hey, we're finally into a California issue here.
I get the impression that this is just some kind of, venting session. I don't think there was a lot of strategy that was put into this.
People are, talking about what can we do about taxation. And
Do you think she consulted with any of her staffers before this, or it's Monday night, Katie got to cook, and I feel like I got to go live.
people are,
I got some things that need to be said, some getting even to do.
Like OJ.
people are, talking about what can we do about taxation and taxing billionaires. And why would we think that someone who is a billionaire would be particularly willing to tax his friends? I mean, maybe.
You think Tom Steyer has friends?
Do you think they debated beforehand what dish it would be that she would be making?
She said it was a vegetarian minestrone, but that is way too many carrots.
Well, okay, so just work with me here. Let's say initially she was supposed to make a creme brulee. And they said, Katie, I don't know if it's a good look of you getting increasingly pissed off talking about Tom Steyer. And then you put that welder's helmet on, and out comes the blowtorch.
Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader, but it doesn't sit with me well. I don't know. I worry about it. And I hear my kids every night.
Oh no, here we go again.
The hard chopping.
Asking me about the influence of money in politics and what we're going to do about it.
You think that's what so now she's saying that when she puts the kids to bed, they say, Mommy, why is there so much money in politics?
Well, let me tell you, kids know how to cope. And if you sat down on the dinner table and you had a psycho with a big knife in her hand staring you down, I'd talk about whatever the hell she wants to talk about too.
Asking me about the influence of money in politics and what we're going to do about it.
That's as believable as, hey, Eton Wallace, here's the whiteboard where my daughter is ranking her favorite Taylor Swift songs.
And by the way, what is she going to do with those obliterated carrots for the soup? It sounds more like she's making a V8.
And I'm running for governor. That's what I'm doing about it. I always tell them that. Why are you talking to me? I'm running for governor. Paul.
She's starting to get a little Hulkamania.
She is. Did you hear her just throw the knife down on the counter?
And I'm running for governor. That's what I'm doing about it. I always tell them that. Why are you talking to me?
That's what I'm doing about it, brother.
Flair, it's you and me. Madison Square Garden. You're going down right in the center of the ring. You got that?
Paul! That's what I'm doing about it. I always tell them that. Why are you talking to me? I'm running for governor. Paul, Betsy.
Well, he got an honorable mention.
Poor kid.
Paul!
Let's go to Klaus in Thousand Oaks. Klaus, hello.
Hey, John. Hey, Randy. Hey, have you guys had the unfortunate experience of seeing the movie Sausage Party?
Oh, yes.
A classic.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? The worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I regretted it. I regretted that decision to see that movie. However, I would see a sequel of that film if Katie Porter was the villain of that sequel.
So it turns into
chasing all the vegetables.
It would be a horror movie. It would be a literal horror movie. I would actually feel bad for those food characters.
Sorry for the noise. I'm cutting carrots.
I mean, can you imagine? Holy crow! Just chop, chop. Just holy crow.
Thank you for the call, sir. All right, let's go back to the video.
This was on Katie Porter's Instagram. It's 27 minutes. If you want to see the video, I have it posted on my Substack, randywangradio.substack.com.
You can tell someone else. But what are we going to do about this if we're not able to live our own values in California? So, people say, how are you going to stand up to Trump? Well, it's not running a campaign like Trump runs his campaigns. It's not essentially saying, I donate to you. I'm a rich guy. I'm in your social circle.
She might be thinking about Tom Steyer more than any other person on the planet.
He really got in her head.
I'll have your back. I don't think that's credible in this moment for voters. And I think we should be worried about it.
Oh, boy, we're peeling again?
Oh, yeah. I think that's a coping mechanism.
Tom Steyer, his net worth he's not a billionaire, by the way, Tom Steyer. He's a $2 billionaire. $2 billion. That's what he's got. His dad was a partner at a Wall Street law firm, and he made a lot of money on Wall Street, investing in tobacco, big oil. And he said, I'm a, climate activism.
Now I think I know why she's not at the debate tonight. I think Tom Steyer might have a restraining order against her.
Well, he should.
Climate activism is important to him. And I've seen that. I believe that about Tom. I think he does care a lot about climate. But he's also said, I realized later that the pollution and the polluters that I was investing in that were poisoning working people and brown and black Californians and communities and fossil fuels.
Oh, boy, she's getting angrier, Johnny.
If I had any concern at all for his health and safety, I would give him a call and say, Tom, stay away from her. Of course, I'm not, but if I did, I would.
Sorry for the noise. I'm cutting carrots.